The DC Universe is set to launch an exciting lineup of shows and expand its storytelling across various continuities and heroes. HBO's The Penguin serves as the first follow-up to Matt Reeves' The Batman and reflects DC's commitment to diverse stories and characters. While DCU's cinematic projects take a back seat, the focus shifts to impactful TV releases scheduled for late 2024 and beyond. These include highly anticipated follow-up seasons of popular series and new shows featuring DC's rich array of heroes and villains. Co-CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran aim to create a cohesive and interconnected content strategy under Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. This unified approach is bound to enhance the DC Universe's narrative depth, and I couldn't be happier. And in this video, we'll be exploring every confirmed DC series and movie releasing in 2025 and beyond. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Superman, July 11th, 2025. James Gunn's Superman has already generated immense buzz with the release of its first trailer, so much so that the movie's trailer is currently one of the most watched among all DC projects. Needless to say, it's one of the most exciting superhero films of 2025. Starring David Corenswet as Clark Kent, the movie introduces a fresh take on the Man of Steel, with a cast and creative direction that could redefine the character for a new era. Scheduled for release on July 11th, 2025, the film will launch Gunn's DC Universe Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. Despite challenges like the 2023 WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes, the project has wrapped principal photography on schedule, ensuring its timely debut. This Superman film, formerly titled Superman Legacy, will not be the traditional origin story. Instead, it focuses on a young Clark Kent who is dealing with his dual heritage as a Kryptonian and a human while working as a reporter at the Daily Planet. Oh, and James Gunn has promised that the movie begins in the middle of the action, so I'm sure they won't get a lot into the origin of Superman, which most people already know. The trailer, released in December 2024, teases a balanced portrayal of Superman, showing him with his family, love interest Lois Lane, and in the aftermath of an intense, bloody battle. While the plot details remain under wraps, Lex Luthor seems to be the primary villain. He's being played by Nicholas Hoult, and rest assured that he is here to rumble Superman's life in one way or another. The trailer hints at themes of identity and belonging, with Clark Kent grappling with his place in both worlds. Gunn has drawn inspiration from iconic Superman comics, including For All Seasons and All-Star Superman. Gunn has also hinted at surprises, with potential appearances by other key DC characters to flesh out this new cinematic universe. Could we see some of Bruce and Arthur? Or maybe a bit of Diana? The cast is another reason for excitement. Did you know that young Rhaenyra Targaryen, aka Millie Alcock, will play Supergirl? Alongside Corenswet's Superman, Rachel Brosnahan stars as Lois Lane, and Skylar Gisondo plays Jimmy Olsen. Holt's Lex Luthor promises to bring a mix of intellect and evil, and supporting roles include Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, and Anthony Kerrigan as Metamorpho. Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific and Wendell Pierce as Perry White round out a star-studded lineup. Notably, Will Reeve, the youngest son of the late Christopher Reeve, the OG Man of Steel, will make a special cameo, so I'm pretty excited about that. James Gunn's direct involvement ensures a creative vision that honors Superman's rich history while taking bold steps into uncharted territory. With its July 2025 release, Superman promises to soar above expectations, offering a fresh yet faithful vision of the Kryptonian hero. Hey, you should check out Peacemaker Season 2, August 2025. Peacemaker Season 2 continues the story of Christopher Smith after his introduction in the Suicide Squad and his eventful solo debut. This new season will pull the show from the D.C.U. and take it to the fresh D.C.U., which has left many unsure about how everything fits into the emerging timeline. However, James Gunn, who created and directed the first season, is now the co-CEO of DC Studios, and he has some plans. Despite this transition, Peacemaker Peacemaker's second outing retains most of the elements that made the first season successful, aside from one notable cameo that will not carry over. The story picks up sometime after Smith's recovery and his involvement in a clandestine mission against an alien race known as the Butterflies. In the process, Peacemaker had to confront his father, Augie Smith, also known as White Dragon, whose white supremacist beliefs clashed with his son's own flawed morality. The first season ended with Augie's death, although visions of him still haunt Smith. This implies that Robert Patrick could return in Smith's life, possibly as a ghost or a figment of Peacemaker's troubled psyche. Filming for Peacemaker Season 2 ended in November 2024. James Gunn confirmed this date, which gives the production team plenty of time for post-production before the official launch. The new season is set for release in August 2025, only a month after Gunn's Superman film hits theaters. Steve Agee, who portrays John Economos, hinted that the scale of this sequel will surpass the scope of the first season, featuring an expansive storyline and more characters. He expects fans of Season 1 to appreciate the bigger world and higher stakes. Peacemaker Season 2 belongs to the D.C.U. rather than the old D.C.E.U. This alignment means that most elements from the first season remain relevant. James Gunn has clarified that the cameo from the Justice League at the end of Season 1 will not be canon. Everything else that took place, including the fight against Project Butterflies and Peacemaker's complicated bond with his team, still applies. The changes mainly revolve around who officially exists in this new shared universe. The main cast is set to return. John Cena leads again as Peacemaker, joined by Freddie Stroma's Vigilante, who adds comic relief and action. Jennifer Holland's Harcourt survived her injuries, so she will likely continue her partnership with Peacemaker, while Steve Agee's Economos should appear after going back to Bel Rev. Danielle Brooks Adebayo might also return since she exposed Amanda Waller's secrets and revealed the truth about Task Force X. Viola Davis could appear in a larger capacity, especially since her own series, Waller, debuts before this new season. We'll talk about this in a while. Two new additions include Sol Rodriguez, who plays Sasha Bordeaux, and David Denman in a currently unknown role. Sasha Bordeaux has ties to the Checkmate organization in the comics, which suggests the introduction of more espionage-based stories in Waller's sphere of influence. Her backstory even involves a connection with Batman, indicating that Season 2 might subtly build towards parts of the DCU that have yet to be revealed. James Gunn has stressed that the sequel will not hinge on multiverse mechanics or other major transitional devices, so viewers can expect a straightforward continuation of Smith's evolution as a complicated anti-hero. The Sandman Season 2, 2025. Netflix's adaptation of Neil Gaiman's The Sandman prepares for its second chapter, which should arrive more than 2 years after the first season premiered in August 2022. The new episodes follow the debut that explored Dream's escape from a century-long imprisonment and his struggle to restore order in the realm of dreams. Season 2 faced delays during the dual Hollywood strike in 2023, but production resumed on November 29, 2023, allowing filming to continue toward the next installment's finish line. Neil Gaiman, author of the original comic series, confirmed the return to production and teased the ambitious scope of the upcoming season. He shared a glimpse of Tom Sturridge as Dream and Mason Alexander Park as Desire on set. According to Gaiman, the journey will move from Destiny's Garden to the depths of hell, from the heart of the dreaming to ancient Greece and revolutionary France, with more uncharted territories yet to be revealed. Netflix greenlit this second outing in November 2022, but the premiere is not set for 2024. Instead, fans can expect it in 2025. Several returning cast members will continue their roles as the Endless, a family representing fundamental aspects of existence. Apart from Dream and Desire, Kirby Howell-Baptiste reprises her role as Death, and Donna Preston returns as Despair. But new faces will join the ensemble. Esme Creed Miles steps in as Delirium, Adrian Lester takes on Destiny, and Barry Sloane will play the Prodigal. The second season also welcomes Ruairi O'Connor as Dream's son Orpheus, Freddie Fox as Loki, and Clive Russell as Odin. Lawrence Ofurarain will bring Thor to life, and Ann Skelly will play Nuala. Douglas Booth steps into the role of Claraken. India Moore joins as Wanda, Steve Coogan appears as Barnabas, and Jack Gleason, known for his time on Game of Thrones as Joffrey Baratheon, will play Puck. Series 1 introduced viewers to Dream, who spent 105 years locked away by occultists seeking his sister, Death. When he finally broke free, he discovered the Dreaming in ruins. The story explored his mission to reclaim his lost symbols of power and set his kingdom right again. It also established his complex relationships with his cosmic siblings, who wield great influence over humanity and reality. With the second season, Netflix continues to venture deeper into Gaiman's extensive source material, which spans ancient myths, personal struggles, and cosmic domains. Connections between the Sandman and another Gaiman-based project, Dead Boy Detectives, continue to expand the show's universe. Netflix launched Dead Boy Detectives in April 2024, adapting Gaiman's spin-off comic that centers on two ghostly teenagers, Charles Rowland and Edwin Payne. They first appeared in The Sandman number 25. Death, who chases the boys to the afterlife in this adaptation, crosses paths with them again, reflecting the overlapping nature of Gaiman's works. Despair also appears in that show, reinforcing the links between the two series. Some details in Dead Boy Detectives differ from the original comics due to the Sandman series' current timeline, since the story has not yet caught up to the Season of Mists arc that heavily features Lucifer and Hell's landscape. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, June 26, 2026. Supergirl has never received the full recognition she deserves, and that's because of many reasons. First, the 1984 film floundered at the box office, and critical reception was not good. Then the CW show offered only a TV-level treatment. No wonder she couldn't take off like Superman. Anyway, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow aims to correct that by placing the Kryptonian hero at the forefront of the DC Universe's new era. This project, also confirmed as part of D.C.U. Chapter 1, promises a bold reinterpretation of Kara Zor-El's story and a chance to highlight her importance in a universe often dominated by more famous heroes. James Gunn first announced Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow in January 2023 and revealed that it would arrive after the new Superman film in the D.C.U. timeline. In November of that year, Gunn named Ana Nogueira as the screenwriter. Nogueira previously worked on a Supergirl concept tied to the Flash's Sasha Calle, though that version was cancelled with the franchise's reconfiguration. January 29, 2024 brought the confirmation that Millie Alcock would take on the role of Kara Zor-El, ending speculation on whether Sasha Calle would remain in the part. Gunn noted that he saw Alcock's work in House of the Dragon and felt certain of her abilities to bring a layered portrayal to the screen. Comic creator Tom King publicly approved this decision, calling it perfect casting. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is slated for release in late June or July of 2026, approximately 1 year after Superman hits theaters in July 2025. The timing positions it as a key follow-up in DCU Chapter 1, bridging the gap between Superman's appearance and the arrival of other major titles. Production is expected to begin in January 2025 in the UK and align with the recent announcement that Matthias Schoenaerts will portray the film's main antagonist. Reports identify his character as Krem of the Yellow Hills. He's somebody who drives Supergirl to chase him across the galaxy in the Tom King source material. Schoenaerts, known for his intense roles in Rust and Bone and The Danish Girl, should bring the right edge to a story that James Gunn has hinted will be darker than some might expect. Gunn says this Supergirl endured great hardship before arriving on Earth, which is contrary to Superman, who grew up under the loving care of the Kents. She spent her childhood on a fragment of Krypton, watching friends and family perish. That backstory promises a more visceral depiction of the heroine's path, and we know from House of the Dragon that Miss Alcock can handle complex emotions pretty well before a camera. There's also confirmation that Millie Alcock's Kara could cameo in the Superman film. The Batman Part 2, October 2nd, 2026. The Batman arrived in theaters in 2022 and earned both commercial success and critical acclaim. Matt Reeves directed the film, which introduced Robert Pattinson's new version of the Dark Knight during his early fight against Gotham's corrupt underbelly, more specifically, his Year One. A serial killer called the Riddler terrorized the city, putting Batman's investigative skills to a tough test. The Batman was intended to start a trilogy, and excitement for its sequel, The Batman Part 2, remains high after the strong reception to Reeves' direction and Pattinson's performance. The Batman Part 2 is now scheduled for release on October 2nd, 2026. Warner Brothers originally planned for an October 3rd, 2025 date, but Hollywood's strike activity and uncompleted script work delayed production. That timeline now places the film over 4 years after its predecessor. Reeves will return to direct and co-write the screenplay with Mattson Tomlin, maintaining the tone and setting he established the first time around. His approach to Gotham helped give the original movie a noir-like atmosphere, so it seems likely he'll continue that style in the next chapter. Filming for Part 2 was expected to start in November 2023, then moved to March 2024, and has now shifted again into 2025. Much like the first movie, the sequel should film in London's Leavesden studio, and also draw from city locations such as Liverpool and Chicago to create a unique depiction of Gotham. The volume technology that gave the Batman its moody visuals could play a role once more. Robert Pattinson is confirmed to reprise his role as Batman, though the full cast remains unknown. Andy Serkis and Jeffrey Wright are likely candidates to return as Alfred and Jim Gordon respectively, while Zoe Kravitz may reappear as Selina Kyle. Part 2's chief villain has not yet been revealed, but the first movie's ending suggests potential for returning characters. Paul Dano's Riddler ended up in Arkham Asylum, where he shared a moment with Barry Keoghan's Joker. Both might resurface in the sequel. Colin Farrell's Oswald Oz Cobblepot received more backstory in The Penguin, a pretty well-done series. The events of that show could feed into the film's plot, particularly if Oz seeks to claim power after Gotham's catastrophic flooding at the end of The Batman. Other possible villains, such as Mr. Freeze, Hush, or the Court of Owls, fit the gritty world that Reeves built, though official announcements are still under wraps. This second chapter in Reeves' saga remains separate from James Gunn's main DC universe, which will feature a different Batman. DC Studios designated Reeves' Gotham stories as part of its Elseworlds banner, alongside separate projects like Joker. That allows Reeves to expand his Batverse without fitting it into the broader DC continuity. However, Gunn has expressed that he is thinking about how to merge the two universes. Lanterns TV series, summer 2026. Green Lantern John Stewart became a major hero in DC's animated projects, especially in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. This popularity led to a short-lived Green Lantern show that showed characters like Kilowog and Guy Gardner. Live-action efforts were far less successful, especially the 2011 Green Lantern movie, which many considered among the worst superhero films ever. With James Gunn now in charge of DC's films and shows, there's renewed optimism that Lanterns, an upcoming series, will give these iconic space cops the fresh start they deserve. Plans for Lanterns came to light in January 2023, when DC Studios co-CEOs Peter Safran and James Gunn announced several new D.C.U. projects. Lanterns now promises a grounded, crime-driven story set on Earth and following Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Damon Lindelof, Chris Mundy, and comic writer Tom King are crafting the scripts, with James Hawes confirmed to direct the first 2 episodes. Recent news confirmed that Kyle Chandler will portray Hal Jordan. Chandler's Emmy-winning role as Coach Taylor in Friday Night Lights proves he can embody a mentor figure, which fits Hal Jordan's status as an experienced Lantern. By contrast, Jon Stewart is described as a newly recruited hero, played by Aaron Pierre, whose work in Rebel Ridge demonstrated the grit and focus needed for a character like Jon. Stewart's arrival is the first time he will appear in a live-action role, as efforts to include him in previous DC projects stalled or were scrapped. Beneath that casting shuffle lies a creative shift away from what Greg Berlanti had originally planned. Berlanti's version would have included Guy Gardner, Alan Scott, and possibly more members of the Corps. Actors Finn Wittrock and Jeremy Irvine were even set to join. That incarnation never moved forward, and James Gunn officially replaced it with the current Lanterns concept, which focuses on 2 Lanterns investigating a murder in the American heartland. Heartland. This mystery will reportedly tie into the larger Gods and Monsters arc Gunn is establishing for the DC Universe. No exact release date has been announced for Lanterns, but filming should begin in January 2025 and wrap by July 2025. Post-production is expected to require extensive visual effects work, which makes 2026 the most likely window for the show's arrival. Once filming commences, DC will likely narrow down the premiere date. That timeline positions Lanterns alongside upcoming DCU chapters like Superman Woman of Tomorrow and The Batman Part 2, each aiming to expand DC's storytelling beyond conventional superhero templates. We can expect a true directive-inspired approach, as Gunn envisions Hal and John acting more like space cops assigned to Earth. The pair will dig into a dark case that holds major consequences for the overarching DCU narrative. The Brave and the Bold, in development. James Gunn recently addressed the long silence regarding The Brave and the Bold, the DCU's upcoming Batman reboot. While fans have been eager to see The Dark Knight return to the big screen in a new continuity, Gunn made it clear that DC Studios has no intention of rushing the film into production. He emphasized that story quality remains the highest priority and that the studio will not proceed until a script meets their expectations. Although some fans might be disappointed by the lack of tangible updates, Gunn's approach suggests a determination to craft the best possible adaptation of this key Batman storyline. This is the most substantial progress yet on The Brave and the Bold since news broke that Andy Muschietti, director of The Flash, would helm the film. The project takes inspiration from Grant Morrison and Andy Kubert's Batman and Son arc, in which Bruce Wayne discovers he has a child with Talia al Ghul, the formidable daughter of Ra's al Ghul. This revelation introduces Damian Wayne, a complex figure who straddles the line between hero and assassin. Gunn's statement indicates that the script is still in development, though it hints that a writer, or team of writers, has been working in the background to distill Morrison's arc into a film worthy of the character's DCU debut. Casting remains equally mysterious. Several actors have stirred speculation by volunteering themselves or receiving endorsements, including Jake Gyllenhaal, Winston Duke, Alan Ritchson, and Brandon Sklenar. Meanwhile, the final season of Superman and Lois offered a surprise to viewers when the Flash veteran Tom Cavanaugh made his long-anticipated appearance in the 8th episode. This cameo satisfied fans of the Arrowverse who have followed Cavanaugh across various DC television projects, though it remains separate from the continuity that Gunn and Peter Safran are restructuring. Over on the big screen side of things, the DCU is set to begin in December with Creature Commandos, an animated series that picks up after Peacemaker Season 1, almost entirely recognized as canon in the new universe. Amanda Waller, faced with increased scrutiny over her handling of Task Force X, recruits a band of misfits for covert missions. Gunn has praised the creative momentum behind other announced DCU projects. He believes that once a screenplay for The Brave and the Bold matches that level of excellence, the film will finally move forward. For now, the wait continues, though the focus on authenticity and faithful storytelling suggests a promising payoff when The Dark Knight eventually returns. DC Studios hopes to avoid the pitfalls of previous rushed productions and deliver a Batman film that fans can celebrate. And I couldn't be happier. The Authority, possibly 2026. James Gunn and Peter Safran are steering the DC universe towards a fresh, unified direction. Apart from Superman, Supergirl, and Lanterns, lesser-known characters, including a superhero team called The Authority, will hit the screens. Originally part of Wildstorm Comics, The Authority is a grittier addition to DC's pantheon, with its film set for release sometime after 2025. The Authority first appeared in 1992, when Jim Lee and Brandon Choi created Wildstorm Comics as a new imprint, apart from DC and Marvel. That era valued dark, edgy heroes, and Stormwatch emerged as one of Wildstorm's key titles. Its popularity waned over time, which in turn led to the deaths of several major characters. The survivors formed a new group known as the Authority, following Wildstorm's purchase by DC in 1999. Warren Ellis initially wrote the first 12 issues, then Mark Miller, Grant Morrison, and others contributed to the run. These characters officially officially joined DC's continuity after the Flashpoint event in 2011, suggesting that the upcoming film will align with how the first phase of Gunn and Safran's D.C.U. unfolds after The Flash. Membership in the Authority has traditionally included Jenny Sparks, Jack Hawksmoor, Midnighter, Apollo, the Doctor, the Engineer, and Swift. Sparks, the spirit of the 21st century, manipulates electricity. Hawksmoor communicates with cities and draws different abilities from urban environments. Midnighter and Apollo parallel Batman and Superman in power sets, though they acquired their strength through scientific experimentation. The Doctor, kinda like Doctor Strange, wields the collective wisdom and magic of past shamans, while the Engineer merged her bloodstream with nanotechnology, which enables feats such as shape-shifting and conjuring objects out of thin air. Swift, equipped with wings and talons, can fly at remarkable speed. Story details for the upcoming film remain under wraps, but James Gunn revealed that The Authority is based on The Authority Omnibus by Warren Ellis, published in 2019. That volume focuses on the group's earliest encounters. Swamp Thing in development. Swamp Thing is totally among the DC Universe's darkest projects under James Gunn and Peter Safran's leadership. Although this horrific creature has appeared on screen before, the new D.C.U. movie aims to give him a fresh start. First introduced in 1971's House of Secrets No. 92, Swamp Thing is a product of science gone awry. Scientist Alec Holland, severely injured in an explosion, fused with the Louisiana marsh, with the swamp absorbing his memories and transforming him into a plant-based entity tethered to the elemental force called the Green. Past adaptations have varied in tone and success, beginning with Wes Craven's 1982 Swamp Thing. That film earned enough goodwill to inspire the return of the Swamp Thing, though the sequel adopted a lighter approach. The character later took center stage in a 1990s TV series and a short-lived 2019 streaming series. Now the creature returns in what director James Mangold describes as a kind of horror noir film. Mangold, best known for Logan and 3:10 to Yuma, has revealed that he envisions Swamp Thing as a standalone feature instead of a typical franchise installment. He has also shared that the film focuses on the creature's attempts to recover lost memories, giving it a more introspective angle than other superhero narratives. James Gunn has confirmed that Swamp Thing differs tonally from the rest of the DCU, yet still connects to the overarching storylines of Gods and Monsters. Gunn sees the movie as an essential piece of the puzzle, able to delve into gothic horror while remaining part of the larger cinematic world. Details regarding production remain scarce, but James Mangold has indicated the script is still taking shape, especially as he devotes time to a Bob Dylan biopic with Timothée Chalamet. For now, fans await further news on casting, filming dates, and the final release plan. Although many DC heroes are easy to recognize, Swamp Thing's philosophical implications are what make him different. He struggles with his own nature, uncertain whether Alec Holland truly survived or if the swamp simply imitated human consciousness. That existential crisis adds a layer of mystery that suits the project's horror aesthetic. Teen Titans movie in development. The DCU's Teen Titans movie has been confirmed, and it would introduce a younger heroic roster at a time when other teams, including the Justice League, have yet to dominate the new universe. The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Anna Nogueira will pen the script after impressing DC Studios with Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, though which teen heroes will star remains unannounced. This project arrives after rumors swirled in early 2024, igniting speculation about possible members and plot elements. James Gunn's track record with superhero group movies, such as Guardians of the Galaxy, raises high expectations for Teen Titans' cinematic debut. The Titans have had many incarnations of comics, frequently led by Dick Grayson, who transitions from Robin to Nightwing. Other staple members often include Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, and Cyborg. Blue Beetle could also appear, given James Gunn's confirmation that Xolo Maridueña's Jamie Reyes will continue in the DCU. With no current standalone plans for Jamie, this movie could be the natural point for his return. If Dick Grayson no longer functions as Batman's sidekick, he might operate as Nightwing instead of Robin. Plot details remain unknown, but the brave and the bold's portrayal of Bruce Wayne at a later stage means the Titans have been around for some time. In the comics, Nightwing and other sidekicks founded the team, which later expanded to include new faces. The Titans film could launch several supporting characters and position them as valuable assets assets to the DCU. Their connection to iconic heroes paves the way for cameo or reference opportunities, including potential hints at Wonder Woman, who has no confirmed film in the DCU yet. Until more information is released, the precise story elements remain speculative. Bane Deathstroke movie in development. A new report from The Hollywood Reporter has revealed that DC is developing a movie featuring Bane and Deathstroke, two of Batman's most notorious rogues. The project remains in the earliest stages, with sources indicating that it could serve as a thrilling villain team-up in the DCU. This comes shortly after a social media tease from James Gunn, who hinted that Deathstroke would appear soon by responding with a winking emoji when asked about the character's future. Whether the film fits squarely into Gunn's new DC universe, aligns with Matt Reeves' Batman world, or occupies its own Elseworlds setting remains uncertain. Matthew Orton, who contributed to Captain America: Brave New World, is writing the script. His experience with projects that blend action and political intrigue suggests that this film might combine intense combat with deeper thematic elements. Plot details are still under wraps, but there's speculation that Bane and Deathstroke could begin as adversaries before striking an uneasy alliance, or that they will unite around a common goal, forging an unusual partnership filled with danger and shifting loyalties. The tone could range from dark and gritty to something more spirited, depending on how Gunn chooses to integrate these characters into the wider cinematic universe. Bane and Deathstroke have each appeared in live action, with Tom Hardy portraying Bane in The Dark Knight Rises and various actors bringing Deathstroke to life on television. Joe Manganiello was once set to star in a D.C.EU Deathstroke movie directed by Gareth Evans, but that project was shelved alongside other cancelled ideas. Casting for this new endeavor will likely seek performers who can build believable chemistry for an action-packed narrative. David Bautista once expressed interest in playing Bane, though he recently stated he hopes to take on roles that are less physically demanding. Sergeant Rock in development. Daniel Craig is reportedly in talks to portray Sergeant Rock in a project under DC Studios, a significant leap from an old-fashioned war hero who rarely crosses paths with mainstream superheroes. Sergeant Rock, created by Robert Kanigher and Joe Kubert, first appeared in 1959's GI Combat No. 68, and later headlined Our Army at War before receiving his own series. Franklin John Rock began as a boxer and enlisted in 1935, leading the fabled Easy Company through multiple World War II campaigns. Though he has no superhuman abilities, he possesses uncanny accuracy with firearms, advanced combat skills, and a near psychic sense for incoming threats. Sergeant Rock has died more than once on the page, but newer stories shifted his fate and tied him to the larger DC universe, including interactions with Batman and Superman and brief encounters to Task Force X and the Creature Commandos. Whether the upcoming film will reimagine his setting as the 1940s or place him in a contemporary timeline remains unknown. This ambiguity extends to the project's placement in James Gunn's new DCU or a separate Elseworlds banner. Gunn's cinematic universe is set to begin with Creature Commandos in 2024 and Superman Legacy in 2025, yet the status of Sergeant Rock's film is not confirmed. According to reports from The Guardian and later reinforced by Deadline, Oscar-nominated director Luca Guadagnino is attached, reuniting with Craig following their work on Queer, which is scheduled for release in February 2025. Screenwriter Justin Kuritzkis, who also wrote Queer and Challengers, is handling the script. This role will give Craig, who almost joined the Marvel Universe as Balder the Brave in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, his first official foray into a comic book franchise. If Sergeant Rock falls under the DCU, connections to World War II's GI Robot or other members of the Creature Commandos could provide interesting ties. In earlier adaptations, animated or otherwise, Sergeant Rock has served as a leader figure for monstrous squads, hinting that Amanda Waller or Rick Flag Sr. may have crossed paths with him. Clayface in development. Clayface has officially joined the DC Universe slate, with James Gunn confirming that the movie has been greenlit, complete with a release date of September 11th, 2026. This brings one of Batman's most notorious foes to the forefront, which has surprised many who expected the brave and the bold to first establish Gotham's rogues. Instead, Clayface will appear in his own feature before the new Dark Knight takes center stage, suggesting significant plans for the character's presence in upcoming DCU chapters. characters. Mike Flanagan is writing the script, so the project should move toward a more horror-infused approach. Fans have compared it to David Cronenberg's The Fly, which means a darker tone than many of DC's other properties. Flanagan's history with projects like Absentia and Gerald's Game has led some to campaign for him to direct as well, though DC Studios has yet to announce the film's director. Peter Safran reportedly confirmed that filming could begin next year, which fits the current timeline for a fall 2026 theatrical release. Unlike Elseworlds productions such as Joker and The Batman, Clayface is part of the main canon. Gunn has stated that the film will align with his larger plans for the D.C.U. It's unclear whether it will precede or follow The Brave and the Bold, which remains undated, though the scheduling hints that Clayface could pave the way for a more established Gotham setting by the time the new Batman arrives. This approach might keep the universes distinct from Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2, set to premiere just weeks after Clayface in October 2026. Clayface's monstrous form will likely translate to a combination of CGI and motion capture, especially since he appears in a similarly grotesque shape in Creature Commandos, which is DCU canon. Alan Tudyk provides the villain's voice in that animated series, making him a candidate for the live-action version. However, precedent indicates that voice actors in Creature Commandos may not necessarily reprise their roles on screen, as indicated by Maury Sterling voicing Sergeant Rock, while Daniel Craig is attached to portray him in a live-action movie. Yet Frank Grillo and Viola Davis are returning as the same characters in both mediums, so the studio's approach may vary. Dynamic Duo animated Robin origin movie in development. Dynamic Duo is an upcoming DC animated film that will give a fresh perspective to two of Batman's protégés, Jason Todd and Dick Grayson. Rather than focusing on the usual Batman and Robin pairing, it centers on the dynamic between two different Robins who must deal with their evolving roles in the Bat family. With Damian Wayne's relationship to Bruce Wayne taking precedence in The Brave and the Bold, Dynamic Duo continues the theme of exploring the bonds between Gotham's younger heroes and the challenges they face when stepping out of Batman's shadow. The film is written by Matthew Aldrich, who contributed to Pixar's Coco and Lightyear. James Gunn revealed in early October 2024 that Dynamic Duo will arrive in theaters on June 30th, 2028. This release date positions it several years after other DC projects, allowing time for any potential appearances or mentions of Jason and Dick in the upcoming DCU installments. While it will be produced by Matt Reeves' 6th and Idaho and animated by Swaybox, it will not connect to Reeves' The Batman universe. Dick and Jason's conflict is the core of Dynamic Duo. Dick Grayson is on a path to become Nightwing, forging his own identity separate from the Caped Crusader, while Jason Todd's darker journey leads him towards the Red Hood persona. How the film chooses to depict their respective transformations is yet to be revealed, though the comics suggest they could face moral dilemmas that test the strength of their bond. Cameo appearances by Bruce Wayne or Alfred Pennyworth are possible, given how integral they are to both Robin's lives. Barbara Gordon, a longtime ally and friend to Dick, may also play an important role. Swaybox is also involved, and the studio combines CGI, stop motion, and live-action performance to produce distinct imagery. Naturally, the Dynamic Duo could feel different from previous DC animated offerings. Waller TV series in development. Amanda Waller is one of the most powerful figures in DC lore, especially after all those Suicide Squad movies. She directs the infamous Task Force X and uses morally dubious tactics for the greater good. Her upcoming HBO series, Waller, will highlight her continuing role in the new DC universe spearheaded by James Gunn and Peter Safran. Viola Davis, who has portrayed Waller since 2016's Suicide Squad, returns to anchor the series, bringing all the gravitas and credibility to the role that she's repeatedly stolen scenes with in films and Peacemaker. It's so strange that Viola Davis, despite winning every award there is, does not get as much recognition as she deserves. But yeah, we're not here to do that whole debate. James Gunn announced that a release date for Waller will not be set until the writing phase is complete. While news on the show has been sparse, Gunn's statements confirm that he wants the scripts fully developed before beginning production. Gunn placed Waller within the first chapter of his D.C.U., known as Gods and Monsters. This new plan officially launches with Creature Commandos in December 2024 and then continues with Superman Legacy in July 2025. Jeremy Carver, creator of Doom Patrol, and Watchmen writer Crystal Henry are confirmed writers for Waller, with Gunn and Safran executive producing. This creative coalition unites some of DC's strongest talents and bodes well for the series. Their collaboration can harness Viola Davis's extraordinary range, delivering the layered study of a brilliant but ruthless figure who sees the bigger picture at any cost. After years of abrupt restarts in DC's cinematic universe, Waller's show could give the franchise a steady foothold and propel its next chapter towards more cohesive storytelling. Booster Gold TV series between late 2026 and mid-2027. Booster Gold, a beloved yet underrated character in the DC universe, is set to receive his own television series under the new DC Cinematic Universe, spearheaded by James Gunn and Peter Safran. While Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman often dominate conversations about DC's greatest heroes, Booster Gold steals the show at times thanks to his unique cocktail of charisma and complexity. Originating from the 25th century, Michael John Carter seeks fame and fortune by stealing advanced technology and traveling back to the 21st century. Equipped with a high-tech suit, a flight ring, and a witty AI companion named Skeets, Booster Gold's journey is filled with ambition and genuine heroism. James Gunn's announcement confirmed that Booster Gold will be part of the DCU's first chapter, Gods and Monsters. The series is slated for an HBO Max exclusive release, though an exact premiere date remains unconfirmed. Based on Gunn's placement in the announcement, the series is expected to debut between 2025 and 2027. Matthew Aldrich, known for his work on Pixar's Coco and Lightyear, is writing the script. The animation will be handled by Swaybox, a New Orleans-based studio renowned for its innovative blend of CGI, stop-motion, and live-action sequences. Booster Gold's story often explores his struggle to balance personal gain with heroic responsibilities. His interactions with other DC characters, such as Superman, who initially sees through his facade, makes his character development quite interesting and full of ups and downs. The series promises to dive into Booster's relationships, including potential appearances by Bruce Wayne or Alfred Pennyworth, and possibly even Batgirl, reflecting the interconnected nature of the DCU. While casting details remain under wraps, fan speculation suggests actors like Nathan Fillion could embody Booster Gold, given his rapport with James Gunn from previous collaborations. This potential casting aligns with the DCU's trend of selecting versatile and charismatic actors to bring beloved characters to life. Paradise Lost TV series in development. Paradise Lost is a series that would explore Wonder Woman's homeland, Themyscira, its nuances, history, and most importantly, its politics. As one of DC's diamond characters alongside Superman and Batman, Wonder Woman holds significant weight in the new cinematic franchise. While Superman will kick off the DCU with a release in 2025 and Batman's The Brave and the Bold set to follow, Paradise Lost is poised to lay the foundation for Wonder Woman's introduction. Despite its critical acclaim and success in the DCEU, Wonder Woman's role in the DCU is being carefully crafted. Paradise Lost aims to explore Themyscira's rich history and potentially focus on its origins before Diana Prince becomes its champion. This approach allows the series to build a deeper understanding of Wonder Woman's roots and the society that shaped her. Announced in early 2023 alongside 10 other projects, Paradise Lost has yet to receive official greenlighting. However, James Gunn has indicated that the show is in very active development. This suggests that while the project is progressing, it remains contingent on finalizing a script that meets the high standards set by DC Studios. This meticulous approach ensures that Paradise Lost will integrate seamlessly into the broader DCU narrative without compromising quality. The series is expected to be produced by Matt Reeves' company, 6th and Idaho, and will not be directly connected to his own Batman universe. Instead, Paradise Lost will stand alone within the DCU, focusing exclusively on Themyscira. James Gunn has compared the show to Game of Thrones. Blue Beetle animated series in development. Xolo Maridueña is set to voice Jamie Reyes in the upcoming Blue Beetle animated series. Speaking with Hablemos de Cine via Deadline, Maridueña expressed his excitement, stating, "There's only one Blue Beetle. I'm so excited to continue Jamie's story and can't wait to see where it goes. It's still early, but it's about to be the next craziest anime." The animated series, produced by Warner Bros. Animation and DC Studios, features Miguel Puga as showrunner and director, with Christian Martinez writing the script. Angel Manuel Soto and Gareth Dunnett Alcacer join as executive producers, bringing their expertise to ensure a high-quality portrayal of the beloved superhero. Announced in June 2024, the series aims to explore Booster Gold's vibrant and dynamic character, offering fans a fresh perspective within the DCU. While the DCU represents a fresh start separate from the DCEU, James Gunn has clarified that certain elements from previous DC projects will integrate into the new continuity. Although the 2023 Blue Beetle movie remains outside the DCU canon, references within the animated series, such as Jamie's battles, will be considered part of the DCU storyline. This approach allows Gunn to maintain continuity while introducing new narratives and characters without being constrained by past adaptations. Maridueña remains the sole confirmed cast member, though he hinted in July 2024 that additional voices will join the series. He emphasized his passion for animation, stating, "It's an honor to bring Blue Beetle to the little screen. I'm open to reprising the role in live action if the opportunity arises." Harley Quinn and other animated titles in development. Harley Quinn, portrayed by Kaylee Cuoco, returns for an eagerly anticipated 5th season. Originating in 2019 on the now-defunct DC Universe streaming platform, the series quickly became a fan favorite due to its bold, satirical take on DC's iconic characters. Unlike many superhero shows, Harley Quinn combines humor with deep character development, making it stand out in the crowded genre. Season 5 continues to explore the complex relationship between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, played by Lake Bell. Their bond, which evolved from friendship to romance, remains a central theme as the series delves deeper into their personal and heroic journeys. The previous seasons introduced dramatic twists, including the death of Nightwing and the birth of Harley and Ivy's daughter from the future, adding layers of emotional depth and intrigue to the narrative. James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC Universe has renewed Harley Quinn, integrating it into the broader Gods and Monsters chapter. While details about the plot remain scarce, the upcoming season is expected to build on the established lore, introducing new characters and expanding the Gotham City landscape. The show's renewal announcement has sparked excitement, with fans eager to see how Harley and Ivy navigate their evolving roles within the DCU. The 5th season is projected to release early 2025 on Max, following the migration from HBO Max after the closure of DC Universe. Although no trailer has been released yet, anticipation is high as the creative team, including creators Justin Halpern, Dean Lorey, and Patrick Schumacher, continue to develop the story. Their previous work has been praised for its sharp writing and innovative storytelling, promising another engaging season. Casting remains largely consistent, with returning voices such as Ron Funches as King Shark and Alan Tudyk as Clayface, alongside new additions like Harvey Guillen reprising his role as Nightwing. The inclusion of these characters hints at deeper connections within the DCU. Constantine II, status unknown. After its release in 2005, Constantine, starring Keanu Reeves, garnered a devoted cult following. Despite this, Constantine II struggled to move forward until recently. Unlike typical comic book movies, Constantine explored the supernatural realm, featuring an exorcist who battles demons and fights evil forces. This unique approach helped establish the genre beyond traditional superhero narratives. The original film developed a dedicated fan base, but elements of the story remained untapped. Both Keanu Reeves and writer Akiva Goldsman expressed a desire to return to the character and expand his story. In an interview with Collider, Goldsman provided the first significant update on a sequel, indicating promising progress. Although Constantine II is still far from theaters, the renewed interest breathes new life into the character 2 decades later. In August 2024, Goldsman revealed at San Diego Comic-Con that Constantine II is actively currently developing a script. The project faced delays primarily due to the complexities of reacquiring the rights, but perseverance from Reeves and Goldsman has kept the momentum going. Despite exploring various formats, including a potential TV show, the focus remains on creating a compelling film script. Producer Lorenzo di Bonaventura confirmed that a script has been completed, though the timeline for production remains uncertain. James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DC Cinematic Universe, or DCU, primarily focuses on a fresh continuity, separate from previous adaptations like Matt Ryan's Arrowverse Constantine. This suggests that Constantine II will likely remain an Elseworlds project, distinct from Gunn and Safran's main DCU narrative. This separation allows Constantine II to maintain its unique supernatural tone without conflicting with the broader universe being developed. Keanu Reeves is set to reprise his role as John Constantine, bringing his passionate portrayal back to the screen. There are talks of Peter Stormare returning as Lucifer, adding continuity to the sequel. The film aims to delve deeper into Constantine's battle against demons and his quest for redemption, building on the dark, supernatural elements that defined the original movie. The ending of the first film, with Constantine's friend Chaz resurrected, hints at future conflicts and storylines that Constantine II might explore. Gotham PD Arkham TV series. Cancel. Unfortunately, this one's been canceled, so there's no point talking about it, is there? Batman Caped Crusader Season 2. Batman Caped Crusader quickly established itself as a great addition to the DC animated franchise. Announced in May 2021 during a Warner Media Upfront event, the series boasts a stellar team of executive producers, including Bruce Timm, J.J. Abrams, and Matt Reeves, the director of The Batman. Drawing inspiration from the beloved 1990s Batman the Animated Series, Caped Crusader infuses a darker tone and a period setting, distinguishing itself from typical superhero narratives. A 2-season order was secured by Prime Video in early 2023, which reflected the studio's confidence in the series. While details about Season 2's release remain under wraps, it's anticipated to debut in late summer or fall of 2025. Potentially extending to 2026. The writing process, which began in January 2022, has progressed smoothly, with J.M. DeMatteis taking over as head writer following Ed Brubaker's departure. DeMatteis brings a wealth of experience from his work on Batman the Brave and the Bold and Justice League Unlimited, promising to enhance the series' storytelling. The cast, led by Hamish Linklater as Bruce Wayne and Batman, and Christina Ricci as Selina Kyle and Catwoman, is expected to return for the second season. Jamie Chung continues her role as Harley Quinn, while Diedrich Bader and Minnie Driver reprise their characters as Harvey Dent and Two-Face and Oswaldo Cobblepot and the Penguin, respectively. Eric Morgan Stewart as Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Guillen as Nightwing are also confirmed to continue their pivotal roles. The dynamic performances and strong character development have been key to the series' acclaim, ensuring that Season 2 will build on its solid foundation. Bat Family. Amazon Prime introduces Bat Family, an animated Batman series that contrasts sharply with Batman Caped Crusader by offering a family-friendly take on The Dark Knight. The series centers on Damian Wayne, Batman's son, and the latest Robin, known for his strained relationship with Bruce Wayne. In Bat Family, Damian adopts his father's mantle as Little Batman, striving to fight crime alongside Bruce. The series follows the 2023 holiday movie Merry Little Batman, which showcased their bond through a charming, exaggerated art style. Fans can expect the delightful continuation of Damian and Bruce's adventures in Gotham. Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum, a new psychological thriller series, is being developed at HBO Max, expanding Matt Reeves' Batman spin-offs. The show explores Gotham City's infamous psychiatric hospital, housing villains like the Joker, Scarecrow, and Hugo Strange. It delves into the lives of both inmates and staff, uncovering complex psychologies and moral ambiguities within its dark corridors. Created by Antonio Campos and Matt Reeves, with Campos as showrunner, Arkham Asylum distinguishes itself from Reeves' The Batman and the Penguin series. James Gunn confirmed Reeves' role in the DCU, though Arkham Asylum's place in the larger universe remains unclear. The series promises to be a compelling addition to DC's offerings. Batman Azteka. Shock de Imperios, 2025. Batman Azteka, Shock des Imperios, also known as Aztec Batman Clash of Empires, introduces a groundbreaking take on the Dark Knight by placing him in the era of the Aztec Empire. Written by Juan José Meza-León, known for Harley Quinn, and Alfredo Mendoza, and directed by Meza-León, this animated feature is a bold departure from traditional Batman stories. Produced and animated in Mexico by Anima and Chatron, the film will premiere on HBO Max, offering a fresh cultural perspective to the Batman lore. Although an official release date remains unannounced, fans anticipate its arrival in 2025 following its 2022 reveal. The voice cast features prominent Latinx actors, including Horacio Garcia Rojas as Uwally Kotl, Omar Chaparro as Yoka, and Alvaro Morte as Hernan Cortez. Additional roles such as Forrest Ivy, Akatzin, and Jaguar Woman are yet to be cast, promising more exciting talent. The story follows Uwally Kotl, a young Aztec boy whose father is killed by Spanish conquistadors. He escapes to Tenochtitlan to warn King Moctezuma and trains under Akatzin, using the bat god Sinakan's temple as his base. With Jaguar Woman's guidance, Uwally embraces his spiritual side to defend his people and avenge his father. Meza-León emphasizes the focus on Batman's humanity, striving for authenticity with expert consultation on Aztec culture. Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League, 2025. Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League, the highly anticipated sequel to Batman Ninja, is set to premiere in Japan on March 21st, 2025. Produced by Warner Bros. Japan and animated by Kamikaze Doga, the film takes Bruce Wayne back to feudal Japan, where Batman confronts the enigmatic Yakuza League. This installment blends samurai-era aesthetics with modern DC characters, building on the creative foundation of its predecessor. Junpei Mizusaki, renowned for his work on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, returns as director alongside Shinji Takagi. The team includes scriptwriter Kazuki Nakashima and character designer Takashi Okazaki, ensuring a seamless continuation of the storytelling and visual style. The voice cast features prominent Japanese actors such as Koichi Yamadara as Bruce Wayne and Batman, Takaya Kamikawa as the new villain Hagan no Karaku, Daisuke Ono as Nightwing, Yuki Kaji as Robin, and Wataru Takagi as the Joker. Additionally, veteran voice actors will bring life to characters like Alfred Pennyworth, Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, and Ra's al Ghul. Scheduled for a digital release in Japan, the film may see a swift international rollout shortly after. Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League promises to captivate audiences with its unique cultural blend and thrilling plot, further expanding the beloved DC animated universe and offering a fresh, dynamic perspective on Batman's adventures. As a special mention, I would like to just bring your notice to 3 more projects that were announced but then went into developmental limbo. These are DC Superhero High Season 1, Untitled Valzad Limited Series, and Ta-Nehisi Coates' Superman. So yeah, the next few years for DC look quite busy, and it seems like under Gunn's leadership, the sun will finally shine on places like Gotham and Metropolis. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
Bang! Look out! We could be looking at an all-out gang.